Welcome to the Thurston County Board of County Commissioners meeting for Tuesday, April 13th, 2021, 2 p.m. My name is Ty Mentor, Chair of the Board. We have Vice Chair Commissioner Gary Edwards and Commissioner Carolina Mejia, as well as County Manager Miro Chavez, Assistant County Manager Robin Campbell, and a variety of staff members for agenda items. Calling the meeting to order, we will begin with the Pledge of Allegiance to be led by Commissioner Mejia.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands,
one nation, under God,
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We would also like to start today with a land acknowledgement. We would like to acknowledge the indigenous people who have lived on and cared for the land and waterways of this county since time immemorial, and who still inhabit the area today, specifically the Squaxin Island, Nisqually, and Chehalis people, our sovereign tribal partners. I would entertain a motion at this point for the proposed agenda.
Yes, I would move to approve the agenda for Tuesday, April 13th, 2021.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
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 Motion carries. I would entertain a motion regarding board meeting minutes from April 6th, 2021.
Yes, I would move to approve the board minutes from April 6th, 2021.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. Motion carries. Brings us to presentations, and we have several today. We start with Public Works Department. Scott Lindblom, our county engineer, is on the Zoom, and he will present an item, Highway Safety Improvement Project Completion. Scott.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. I'm going to be attempting to share my screen here, and please let me know if it does work. Is it working at this point?
We are seeing...
We're sharing your boots.
My boots, uh-oh. I shared the wrong window, my apologies. Let's try this. Oh, that's, okay, well, what I will do is I will walk through my presentation, sans the PowerPoint, because I apparently am having technical difficulties, and that is my issue, and I do apologize for that. So, third time is not the charmer. So I'm here today to talk to you about a recently completed highway safety improvement project. You last heard about this project when we awarded the contract back in August of 2020. From 2015 to 2019, 39 people have been killed on our county roads. Another 163 have been seriously injured. Quite simply, the purpose of this project is to save lives. Thurston County's Highway Safety Improvement Program's primary purpose is to reduce fatal and serious injury collisions. The program aligns with Washington State's Target Zero, which is to reduce fatal and serious injury collisions to zero by the year 2030. The county's transportation plan recommends rumble strips and guardrails as tools that can help improve the safety of our county roads. Public Works received a federal grant to support critical safety improvements focused on guardrails and rumble strips. Over 40% of fatal and serious crashes are the result of vehicles hitting a fixed object. It's the most common crash type we see. This project addressed run-off-the-road crashes caused primarily by driver inattention, falling asleep at the wheel, distracted driving, or for other reasons. Through this project, we were able to replace remove and replace over 8,000 feet of substandard guardrail on Little Rock Road between Sergeant Road and the community of Little Rock, also on Wattle Creek Road between Delphi Road and the Sherman Valley Road. The cost of this was about $400,000 per mile. We also added over 3,000 feet of new guardrail on Tonto Road between the town of Bucota and the Thurston County line. The cost to add this new guardrail was about $385,000 per mile. All told in the county, we have about 24 miles of guardrail. Now, if I could move on to the rumble strip portion of the project. Rumble strips really are intended to alert motorists, and ultimately they save lives as well. They've been found to effectively alert these drivers when they stray out of the traveled lanes, and they significantly reduce roadway departure and head-on crashes. Nationwide studies have shown that shoulder rumble strips result in a 36% reduction in roadway departure crashes and a 45% reduction on head-on and roadway departure crashes for centerline rumble strips. These statistics are supported by numerous federal and state studies, and it's been found to be a very cost-effective way to make significant safety improvements on our road system. This technique has been used around our nation for decades. With this project, we installed 5 miles of centerline and shoulder rumble strips along a portion of Rainier Road Southeast. They're on a stretch of road with no homes, so no residents should be impacted by the noise produced by the rumble strips. We were able to install rumble strips at a cost of about $7,000 per mile. This project, and I apologize for the graphic, is the graphic kind of takes the cake here, but imagine a pie graph. This project was funded by $12,000 of county road fund. We also received a grant of just over $1 million. So this grant was 99% funded by the Highway Safety Improvement Program of the federal government. That federal grant is supported by the 18.4 cent per gallon federal gas tax that we all pay at the pump every day. The project is in alignment with Initiative 2 of the county strategic plan to improve community health, wellness, and safety, and Initiative 8 to support robust and well-maintained infrastructure systems for a thriving economy. And now I will close down my unsuccessful slideshow and leave it at that, and I open it up to any questions you may have.
Questions from the board for Scott?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay, I don't either. Thanks, Scott.
All right, thank you.
Appreciate that. Okay, next presentation is also Public Works. And I see Jennifer Walker, our Public Works Director, and this is an introduction of new Public Works employees.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Jennifer Walker, Director of Public Works. And today I have the pleasure of introducing 2 staff members. The first, I'd like to welcome Jeff Bickford. Jeff is our new solid waste manager, and he joined the county on April 5th and is responsible for managing a staff of 25 employees working out of 4 different locations. He will oversee operations and maintenance of the Hawks Prairie Transfer Station and our Rainier and Rochester drop box facilities, the county's closed landfill, developing waste reduction and recycling programs, and managing contracts totaling more than $18 million a year. Jeff is a former environmental, or was the former environmental services manager for Marion County in Oregon, and recently served on the Mason County Solid Waste Advisory Committee. He has more than 25 years of experience and a passion for solid waste management. He's designed several solid waste facilities and holds a bachelor's degree in civil engineering from the University of California, Davis. And in his free time, Jeff enjoys walking his dog and searching for the best Northwest golf course. So Jeff, would you like to say a few words?
Good afternoon, Commissioners. I'm glad to be here. I'm really excited about the position. Glad that Jennifer decided to choose me to come here and work with Thurston County. It looks like there's a lot of good opportunities, and the system here looks great. Looking to keep it great and make it even better. Any questions?
Any questions or?
I guess I would just comment that that's kind of my motto. We can always do better. So I'm glad to hear you say that. Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Yeah, welcome, Jeff. We've long time in finding a good person for this spot, and we're really excited to have you.
Thank you. I'm excited as well.
Okay, the other individual that is responsible for delivering valuable services to our community is Ed Marson. And Ed, this Friday will be taking over as our new Parks Operations and Maintenance Manager. Ed is new to the position, but not new to the county. He joined Public Works and the Parks and Trails unit in 2016 as a building and grounds maintenance specialist. And because of his work ethic and leadership skills, moved up through the ranks. So first as a building and grounds maintenance specialist, then as the building and grounds maintenance specialist lead, and now as the manager of that work unit. Ed has over 8 years of experience supervising and leading crews and implementing process improvements that have been, and is very active in the community coaching youth sports. As the Parks Operations and Maintenance Manager, Ed is responsible for managing a small but mighty team of 4 employees who take care of the county's parks and trails. So Ed, would you like to say a few words?
I would. Thank you for the kind words, Jennifer. Good afternoon, commissioners. I'm very grateful for this opportunity, and I look forward to helping shape the future of the Thurston County Parks and Trails program.
Questions for Ed?
Yeah.
Commissioner Edwards?
No questions, but I would like to welcome Jeff and Ed. Jeff, me and you, we're going to be working pretty closely. I'm on the SWAC committee, so we'll be, I know we'll be probably meeting regularly. But welcome to Ed. Excited that you're still here with us, and welcome to Jeff.
Thank you.
Commissioner Edwards?
No, sir. I'm good. Just welcome. Best place to work right here. You got it.
Commissioner,
Yeah, go ahead, Ramiro.
I'd just like to also extend the welcome wishes to Jeff and Ed. I've met Ed in the past, so I'm glad that you're moving up to the ranks, and yeah, it's going to be you're going to be using the new Kerry Hibden for a little while, so get used to it. And Jeff, welcome aboard to Thurston County. Solid waste is one of the biggest operations that we have here in the county, so looking forward to working with you on that aspect.
And I'd just like to say that, and of course you know this, but the parks department, in my estimation, looms larger than its size in the public, in the hearts of the public, in how important it is to the county. It seems to, people get emotional and prideful and about the park system. So I know it's important, a very important role, and so we're glad to have you at the helm.
Thank you.
With that, thank you guys, and we'll be seeing more of you in the future, I'm sure. Next is Pretrial Services, and we have Marianne Clear, our director, and she has a new employee as well to introduce to the board and the public.
Good afternoon, commissioners and everyone. I am pleased to introduce Grace Burkhart to you. She's our newest addition to Pretrial Services. We hired Grace and she started with us on March 8th. She fills the position that Nicole Carbone had with Pretrial Services. She is helping us as we expand Pretrial Services to include a pre-charge diversion. Grace is nearing completion of her MPA and her Master's of Public Administration. Her experience includes Behavioral Health Systems Navigator. That was her most recent experience. She also has experience as working in community court, which is here in Olympia. She has done social services in public defense and also has worked with one of our senators. And we are very lucky to have her. She brings great energy, has innovative ideas, has compassion for our clients. She brings great passion for the work and has a great sense of humor. So she's been fun to have in our office over the last month or so. So we're looking forward to working with her over the future while we have her. Grace, did you have anything that you want to say?
Good afternoon, commissioners. I'm Grace Burkhart. I just want to thank you guys for having me today. And Marianne, thanks for the nice words. That was kind. And I'm excited to be here. So thanks for having me in general.
Any things from the board?
Just welcome, Grace. You have a great team there with you. So just welcome to the county.
Commissioner Edwards, anything?
Yeah, just welcome, and I hope you make it better than it is even. So thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome, Grace.
Welcome, and we are well aware of the challenges that are facing our justice system in the wake of the pandemic, and that's why we're bringing new employees on board in pretrial services. But I think it's a real opportunity. You guys can build this program, in any number of ways, and I'm excited to see what you'll do. And good luck, and we're looking forward to your success.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Marianne.
Thank you.
Finally, we have a similar presentation from Public Defense of several new employees, and Patrick O'Connor, Director of Public Defense, is here.
Thank you, Commissioner. Good afternoon, Commissioners. I have the pleasure and honor of introducing two of our newest team members, and then Robin Martin, one of our senior defense attorneys, will introduce our third. So my first introduction is to Virginia Lagerston. Virginia has joined us as a defense attorney, two within the department, specifically joining our adult felony team. Virginia has over 10 years experience as an attorney, mostly in public defense, to include most recently 7 years with Yakima's Public Defender Agency, 2 years of service with the Confederate Tribes of the Colville Reservation. And she also spent some time representing clients for in Team Child. Virginia has been with us since the beginning of last month, and she's already hitting the ground running. She's already made a lot of friends and established a quick reputation in our office as someone who's enthusiastic and brings a bright smile to the day. She's already working on current felony trial cases, as well as just taking over and replacing our representation in adult drug court. So with that, we're really excited to welcome her. She's a graduate of Evergreen State College for her undergrad, and went to Seattle U for her law degree. So with that, I welcome Virginia to say hello and add any other comments she'd like to at this time.
Thank you, Patrick. That was a really glowing introduction. I appreciate that. Good afternoon, commissioners. It's nice to be back on the west side in Olympia. I very much missed it. It's been about 7 years since I've been back here. So this time of year is just beautiful. I'm enjoying watching everything bloom, and looking forward to getting outside. I love to go camping and that sort of thing. So yeah, it's been great to be back and nice to meet all of you. I look forward to my time here.
Oh, and hearing no further questions for Virginia, I'd like to introduce our next defense attorney, and that's Sky Frizen. Sky is also joining our adult felony team as a trial attorney, although her current assignment is helping us with the amazing amount of work under State v. Blake. Sky brings with her another vast amount of public defense experience, most recently leaving Pierce County's Public Defender Agency to join ours. She's also had experience, Commissioner Menser, you'll enjoy this, representing clients in the state of Alaska, where she's from, also in Minnehaha County in South Dakota. Sky, correct me if I pronounced that incorrectly. But Sky's the timing of both these hires is amazing for us given our workload, but Sky's really dove into unpacking, representing clients in the wake of the Blake decision. And if we didn't have her on board, we would be even more overwhelmed than we already are. But Sky's already, in the month that she's been here, made a lot of close friends, I think, and we're thrilled to have both Sky and Virginia. So Sky, is there anything you'd like to say to the commission?
Thank you, Pat. It's really great to be here. I appreciate your opening remarks. I'm very excited to be servicing the Thurston County community. Obviously, this is a very exciting time to be in the criminal justice system, and we do have the option here to really put a restorative justice approach forward. I'm really grateful to have the opportunity to be here at the Public Defender's Office and to do as much powerful work as I can. So thank you, and I look forward to continuing to be here.
Great. Thank you, Sky. Thank you, Virginia. So I'll let Robin will do our next introduction.
Okay, and then we'll open it up to the board at the end. Go ahead,
Great.
Robin.
Good afternoon, commissioners. I am here to introduce to you Maria Gallo, our new social services specialist. We are just thrilled to have her here to offer her services to our clients and help present a more holistic defense in our community. Maria has a bachelor's degree in social work from the University of Washington, and she has been working as a social worker for 4 years, doing counseling, case management, and care coordination. 2 of those years, she worked in forensic mental health and then moved into inpatient behavioral health work. She's originally from Colombia, and she's lived in the US for almost 10 years now, and been very well in the Pacific Northwest. In her spare time, she likes hiking during the summer, skiing during the winter, and loves powerlifting, which was a surprise to me. I didn't know that. But she's really excited to be the pioneer for social services at our office, and we are really glad to have her. And if you want to add anything, Maria.
Thank you, Robin. That was a really good introduction. I'm very, very excited to have joined the office and the county. I have already had the chance to meet with a lot of community partners, and everybody has been extremely welcoming and so helpful. So I'm really looking forward to, continuing to develop those relationships and partnerships so that we can come together and best serve our community and our clients.
Thank you, Maria. Comments, questions from the board for our new public defender employees? Commissioner Mejia?
Just welcome to the county, to all of you. It's exciting. You have definitely come in an exciting time where it's definitely very busy, but I'm very excited for you and the changes that are coming. So congratulations and welcome.
Thank you.
Commissioner Edwards?
I guess I'd just say welcome to Maria and Virginia and Sky. I'm glad to see you here because I know you're going to make this a better place to live and work. So thank you very much.
And I would echo those welcomes. And Pat mentioned the last guy spent 7 years as a public defender for the state of Alaska. So I know your business pretty well, and I know the challenges, and it's, I can't imagine exactly what you're going to be dealing with here with Blake and COVID backlog and whatnot. But I know that's why we need you. So thank you for being here and welcome. I can't see a county manager, so you got to speak up.
Just a welcome statement. Welcome aboard. Your coming to the Office of Public Defense, as Commissioner Menser stated, is going to be a challenging few months because a couple of years. But I do believe there also is going to be extremely rewarding to each one of you. So thank you for joining the Thurston County team, and looking forward to meet you in person sometime.
All right. Thank you, Robin and Pat.
Thank you, commissioners. Have a great day.
Okay, next we have the opportunity for the public to address the board. Board of County Commissioners welcomes comments from the public at our Tuesday afternoon meetings. However, there are some guidelines governing such comments to ensure they are appropriate and do not take advantage of the fact that most meetings are televised. When called, we'll start with the folks in the boardroom. And when called, please introduce yourself, including where you reside in the county. Address the board, not audience or staff. You will have 4 minutes. That time cannot be donated to another speaker. The board will not directly respond to public comment, but the county manager may follow up on an as-needed basis. The board reserves the right to restrict the person's opportunity to speak for good cause. No comments that are lewd or offensive, inflammatory, defamatory, hateful, or discriminatory. Please be respectful. No outbursts. Comments that are commercial in nature, such as promotion of a for-profit business or related to pending land use permits or similar matters that could eventually become before the board on appeal. Finally, documents provided to the county may be considered public records and subject to public release upon request pursuant to the Public Records Act, Chapter 4256 of the RCW. And with that, we've got 2 folks signed up, at least so far. John Pettit, followed by Terry Ballard. And in between each speaker, I believe somebody will be cleaning the microphone, so give them an opportunity to do that. Mr. Pettit, you're up.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. My name is John Pettit. I live in East Olympia off of Rich Road. I think this morning was kind of an example of why we have to be careful about our meeting schedule. Now, I understand we have a hearing. We're going to talk about a change in an ordinance, but this morning was a prime example. When I get up and I go to look and see what's on the agenda, there is no agenda. So you canceled what would be a normal process, an agenda setting meeting, which is when you quite oftentimes get to learn about certain things you're going to be dealing with in this meeting. You're going to be dealing with framework policy. You're going to be dealing with electronic signature. Now, I don't know if you guys have actually had the opportunity to review these things. I know that you need to have some framework policy of some type because basically you've been running rampant for many years with the planning department without any real policy in place. And because of that, whether one wants to address it directly or not, there's been a lot of violation of people's rights to do things because there hasn't been a policy that's even available to the public to consider. So if you're not ready to address something because you haven't received the full depth of information to make a decision, I would think it would be appropriate to decide not to make decisions on things. We cannot depend upon staff to tell you what you need to vote for and what you don't. And I think that that's kind of an ongoing issue that I have. You know, I did just have the honor of getting to take my son down to California, get him ready for a wonderful place to go to school in a community that doesn't have the issues that we have, like such homeless population, drug culture, and everything that we have here. But I also got to watch the commissioner meeting online. Not this meeting, but the one from San Luis Obispo County. Amazing, amazing to watch that, because there was always an opportunity for the public to address each individual issue as it comes up on the agendas. Agendas are something which I have a real issue about. You know, you have a really nice fancy agenda right now for this meeting. But did you know that typically every single meeting you have, we get nothing more than a piece of paper that says agenda with a single line item that doesn't tell you anything? It's not an agenda. It's a false pretense of an agenda. Now, why that's important, if you're going to be having regular meetings, you need to have your agendas so the public can actually know what you're doing. It's not a private session of you against the public. It's a session of you are representing the public. So I'm sure you'd like everyone to know what's going on, not having it hidden away or a surprise. And so I think we need to deal with that. There's another issue that I do want to address, because I'm somebody that does all my research all the time, and I took a look, And, you know, we do have 3 meetings that we have minutes for. But if every meeting seems to be, every meeting has a requirement, every single one that you go to. And that's they have to have a minutes. Can I pick up a minutes of your last meeting you had on Thursday? I don't think so. You need to address this and get this process straightened out so you truly comply. I'm sure that Ms. Mejia and Mr. Edwards have both recently gone through open public meeting training. Her because she's within 90 days, him because he's refreshed after 4 years. Thank you very much.
Okay, next will be Terry Ballard, and then we will go to, I'll check if there's any additional signups. That's all I've got in front of me. Go ahead, Mr. Ballard.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. My name's Terry Ballard. I live in Tanglewilde. I'm a 35-year veteran, retired in 2012 from the Army. My main concern today is the Veterans Assistance Fund. Which commissioner is assigned the Veterans Assistance Fund? It's directly under the commissioners. Which commissioner is assigned the director? No one. Who is overseeing the Veterans Fund? No one. Who is looking at funding for the Veterans Fund? Oh, they're supplementing programs out of the Home Consortium Fund with the Veterans Fund. I find that really biased because you're charging veterans for something that you don't charge everybody else, and you're charging the fund, okay? I saw one request for a proposal as far as $49,000. Well, that offsets the request for a proposal because $49,000 and below, you didn't need anything, okay? So there was no request for proposal. Also, I see an item today on the list for $2,638,000 for a voucher. That's a lot of money to me. Where's the listing of all this voucher crap? Oh, I have to get a file, or do I just get a little short thing to say where all this funding is coming from? That's ridiculous. These meetings, okay, are ridiculous. These procurement policy is ridiculous. Here's one, for example, okay? You have to have 5 on the roster for bids and 3 if less than 50,000. And you know what? That's in the that's into the up to 10,000 mark and below 40,000. And we can already have 3 or less. That's ridiculous. This whole program of giving money, I earned my money. I earned it for 35 years. I'm disabled from that. I want my money going to the right place. You're beating up the Veterans Fund. You're beating me up on septic fees, which don't even go anywhere. I mean, I have 3 wells at the corner of Hensley and Carpenter. All my stormwater goes there. It doesn't go into some river or stream. Why am I paying a septic fee when I have 3 wells that is my drinking water down in the park? Less than a half mile from my house. What's going on here? We got money going out and nobody's, and by your ordinance, okay, by your ordinance, which is resolution 15933, commissioners can't ask any questions of the staff. Commissioners can't verify anything of the staff. They have to go through the city manager. And the city manager just put his organization in here that has nothing to do with government. He wrote it into the thing about the ethics. I'm sorry, leadership is loyalty, duty, respect, selfless service, honor, integrity, and the personal courage to do what is right. My commissioners are missing that. They're improperly managing Romero Chavez. And where is my audit on the Veterans Fund? Where is it? We've been going in this nut roll since October. And again, who's in charge of the veterans? And the people assigned to the veterans, in your own ordinance, it says you can have 3 consecutive and one additional assignment to the Veterans Fund. You got a guy on there that's been here for all four, and he wasn't even signed yet. Your SOP doesn't even exist, and you don't sign your SOP. It's just like the CPED. Just like the CPED. And there are things set, RCW 73.08. RCW 73.08. It gives you the marching orders. You have no clue of what's going on with the Veterans Fund, and no county commissioner is assigned to it. And after 35 years of my devotion to the Army and the individuals that served under me, this is a disgrace to me. It is a disgrace. Okay? King County's doing better than we are. King County gave all the veterans a byline to get COVID relief fund out of the Veterans Fund. What'd we do? Oh, we raised it, I think, to 3,000. Whoa. I'm disgusted. That's why I don't show up to this meeting, because nothing gets done. And I'm a veteran.
County manager, if he can see if there's any additional folks who may have joined into the board.
Anybody from the room who would like to provide public testimony? This is not related to the public hearings. This is just addressing the board at this time. No? No. Let me check the Zoom. I don't think we have anybody waiting in the Zoom to provide public testimony this afternoon. So let me check the conference call. Good afternoon. For those members of the public who have joined us via conference call this afternoon, if you would like to provide public testimony in front of the Board of County Commissioners this afternoon, please unmute yourself, state your name, where you reside in the county. You have 4 minutes. None, sir.
Thank you. We'll go to item 2 on today's agenda, which is the county manager's update.
I don't have any specific follow-up this afternoon for you, commissioners.
Okay, we'll move to item 3, the consent agenda. There is one item, 3A. Is there a motion regarding that item?
Yes, there's one single item under consent items, and I would move to approve the voucher list for the week of March 29th, 2021 for a combined amount of $2,638,472.60.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. Motion carries. Consent item is approved. We'll go to department items number 4, 4A, and 4B, I believe, are related. 4A is Thurston County 010 Framework Policy. Robin Campbell is here to introduce that item. And Robin, I'll leave it to your discretion if you'd like to discuss them together or in separate.
Thank you, Commissioner. Robin Campbell, Assistant County Manager, and I'm going to keep them separate. The first item on your agenda is called the Framework Policy. In 2019, might have been 2018, the county began an initiative to update all of our policies. And to do that, we gathered together a group with a representative from every office and department. And one of the things that team identified was the need for a consistent approach to forming county policies and having a consolidated policy manual. We haven't gotten very far on that project yet, but as we did the first few policies, the group determined that we need a framework just for how to approach writing a policy. And that's what this framework is. This framework, also referred to as the policy on policies, simply says that if you are creating or updating a policy, these are the steps that you're required to take. And because all policy is approved by the Board of County Commissioners, this policy is before you today for your consideration. And I'd be happy to answer any questions about this.
Questions from the board regarding the framework policy?
Yes, I do have some questions.
Go ahead, Commissioner Edwards.
Okay. Well, it's obvious we need to do something about policy. But I'm not sure that I agree with everything that we're doing or that we've left out possibly. And I think the best thing we can do here now is recognize that. And I am gonna make a motion here shortly. But I do think that we need some adjustments, corrections, amendments. We need to make some changes in this as time goes along. And that's what I'm looking forward to. So although I'm not making this motion recognizing that it's a finished product and everything's done, I'm going to make this motion because I'm optimistic and think this is a step in the right direction and we'll be able to make the needed changes as time goes on. So I'll just let it go at that at this point in time. Thank you.
Commissioner Mejia, anything on these?
No, sir. We had a briefing in regards to this framework, so I have no questions at this time.
Yeah. I believe we had 2 briefings, at least related to this, just since that was raised at an earlier point. I would entertain a motion on this item.
Under item A, I would move to approve the 010 framework policy.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any further discussion?
No, sir.
Hearing none.
No, sir.
Call for the vote. All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. That motion carries, and we'll go to 4B. Back to Robin.
Thank you, Commissioner. This is one of the multitude of policies that the county enacts. And this particular one is regarding e-signatures. The state of Washington passed a law that requires local jurisdictions to have a policy in place to be able to use and accept electronic signatures on official documents. This particular policy was drafted in collaboration between the Commissioner's Office and the Prosecutor's Office. It has been reviewed by all offices and departments countywide. Their comments have been incorporated. It has passed a final legal review and it conforms to state law and provides maximum flexibility to offices and departments to be able to use electronic signatures at their discretion. And I would be happy to attempt to answer questions about this policy.
Commissioner Mejia, any questions on this policy?
No, sir, not at this time.
Commissioner Edwards.
I guess, again, I would just, earlier today, I did say I was optimistic and that we need to do better anytime we're doing county business. So I'm looking forward to making any appropriate changes as time goes on so we can do better. So I'm prepared to make a motion, sir.
Okay, I'll just pipe in and say that this particular policy was brought to the board at the end of last year, and we were not satisfied with it, and it went back for further review and input, and it came back, and then we were briefed, and we were satisfied with the form, I believe. So this one has been reviewed by the board, and I'm ready for a motion.
I would move to approve the electronic signature policy.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any further discussion?
No, sir.
No, sir.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. Motion carried. Commissioner Edwards, was that an aye?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Making sure. Okay, so that passes unanimously. Thank you, Robin. And we are on to item 5, Public Health and Social Services, rent assistance contracts for Community Action Council and Community Youth Services. I'll have the county manager introduce the item, and I do see Tom Webster here from Public Health.
Yeah, thank you, Commissioners. This is a follow-up item to the action you took last week, in which you authorized authorizing an agreement between the Department of Commerce of the Washington State and Thurston County to receive money to continue to provide rental and utility assistance to citizens in the county who have been affected by the COVID-19 emergency. Thank you, appreciated your support on that. This is a follow-up item in which, for your consideration, and Tom is going to walk you through in a little more detail, is to sign the agreements with the Community Action Council of Lucin, Mason, and Thurston counties, as well as the Community Youth Services. In the Community Services, a new contract, because as one of the requirements is that we need to provide a direct assistance to youth affected by the COVID-19 emergency. That's really a complementary item to the item that you approved last week. Tom?
Thank you. Tom Webster, Public Health and Social Services. So Ramiro set that up very well, the county manager. So this is following up last week. So we have a contract from the Department of Commerce for $10,210,939. We want to issue a substantial portion of that to Community Action Council and Community Youth Services to implement the rent assistance program. You may also recall earlier this year, the county directly received approximately $8.7 million from the Department of Treasury. That contract with Community Action Council is already in place and is active currently, and Community Action Council is accepting applications. So this additional funding will add money to the Treasury rental assistance program that the county's already received. So in total, this will bring the total Treasury rental assistance program funding to approximately $18,900,000. As the county manager said, the Department of Commerce does have a requirement that we serve at least 10% of the households are young adults, which is age 18 to 24. And so we're going to intend to contract with Community Services that operates a rental assistance program and specifically targets this population. These funds can be used both for rent assistance as well as utility assistance. It can be used for past rent as well as future rent. However, it can only be used for past overdue utility bills or current utility bills. It cannot be used to fund future utility bills. Payments are made directly to the landlord or to the utility provider. They are not made to the applicant. And with that, I'm happy to answer any questions that I can. And these funds will last through September 30th, 2022.
Commissioner Mejia, any questions for Tom?
Yes, I would like a clarification on this. I thought this was already done at an early, I mean, this is the third time I've seen this come up. So what's going on? What's happening?
Yes, we have been in front of you several times for asking for permissions because we've received this Treasury rental assistance in different ways. One of them directly came from Treasury. And so we had a series of actions that you took to accept those funds and then to award those contracts under that direct allocation from Treasury. Now we're also receiving the second allocation through the Department of Commerce. And so we have another series, because of the size of this money, the previous agenda items that you approved did not allow for that authority. It only allowed for 10% or 20%. And this 10 million is well beyond that threshold. So we have the second pot of money from Commerce. So we're coming for your approval for this pot, if that helps explain the situation.
So what's the total that we've received for rental assistance from the state and federal government this year?
Under the Department of Treasury, the total is $18,970,330.
And is for the Department of Commerce? Is that?
We also, you're correct, we did receive some money directly from the state that is not under the Treasury rental assistance program. That included money that we received last year. We received approximately $3.2 million last year, an additional $1.4 million this year. So that total is approximately $4.6 million in state rental assistance money that we have received.
Thank you, Tom.
Commissioner Edwards.
Yes, sir. Tom, could you, or verify, I guess, these payments and this expenditure comes from entities that are providing it to Thurston County with specific earmarks as to the way this is to be spent. Is that correct?
That is correct. Under Department of Treasury rules, these funds must be spent for households that have an income below 80% of median income, and they're prioritized for households that are below 50% area median income, or who have a household member who has been unemployed for the past 90 days. There's also other documentation and eligibility requirements that come under the Department of Treasury program. The Department of Commerce added additional requirements to these funds, including the requirement that 10% of the funds support households that are in the 18 to 24 age range. So yes, we are implementing these in accordance with the Department of Treasury and Department of Commerce guidelines.
And again, just to let the public know, Commissioner Mejia brought this up, but we've had this in front of us numerous times, so I have no further discussion. We've been over it many times. Thank you.
And I have nothing further. So is there a motion?
I would move to approve contracts with Community Action Council of Lewis, Mason, and Thurston counties and Community Youth Services to implement rent and utility assistance programs in Thurston County, funded through the Washington State Department of Commerce with U.S. Department of Treasury Emergency Rent Assistance Program funding for $10,160,939, and authorize the Director of Public Health and Social Services to sign the contracts and any amendments that do not change the amount or duration by more than 20%.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any further discussion?
No, sir.
No, sir.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you, Tom.
Thank you.
Our next item is Public Works. Amendment to the Interlocal Agreement between Thurston County and the Confederated Tribes of the Chehalis Reservation. I see Therese Parsons and Marcus Storick here. I'll have the county manager introduce the item.
Thank you, Commissioner. This is one of the first items that you will see coming up, and this is related to public, private, and tribal partnership to build infrastructure in the Grand Mountain area, particularly build a runabout at the intersection of Highway 12 and Sergeant Road. And the reason for this particular, what I believe is a great partnership, is brings economic development to that area. And I believe by building this infrastructure is going to accommodate even larger economic development that is greatly needed in this part of the county. Teresa Parsons, the engineering manager for Public Works, is going to provide you with additional information related to this particular item.
Thank you, County Manager. My name is Teresa Parsons, Engineering Design Manager, and we have been working on this project for a couple of years now, and it is, as the County Manager stated, an important piece of infrastructure to support development in the Grand Mound area. In particular, the tribe has been developing property as well as other private ownerships down there. And we, as an aside, you will be seeing us come forward with a development agreement with a private property owner in the near future to also help support funding this project. We are about 90% complete with design. We have all the environmental approvals necessary. We've started the right-of-way acquisition process, and the project is scheduled for construction in 2022. This amendment to the interlocal agreement that we had entered into with the Chehalis tribe that the board had signed several years ago augments that and allows the tribe to contribute $800,000 towards the project. Are there any questions?
Commissioner Mejia?
So I'm sorry, was this in the budget for last year? I missed that part.
It has been, yes. It was in, I don't know if you meant 2020 budget or 2021, but it was in both budgets.
And which fund would this project come out of?
This comes out of the 3010 capital projects budget.
Well, the funding source is the real estate excise tax to the county portion.
Oh, sure.
So,
yes.
Thank you.
Commissioner Edwards?
I think I'd just like to point out that this is one of the few times we get to have money coming in to the county to complete a project, and this is part of a partnership with the Chehalis tribe that offsetting the cost of this roundabout. Thank you. I'm prepared to make a motion, sir.
Okay, I'm ready for the motion. Go ahead, sir.
I would move to approve amendment number 1 to the interlocal agreement between Thurston County and the Confederated Tribes of the Chehalis Reservation to allow payment by the tribe of $800,000 to the county for construction of the US 12 and Sargent Road Roundabout Project, CP number 61502.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any further discussion?
No, sir.
No, sir.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Thank you, Teresa and Marcus.
Thank you very much.
So 257, we're at item 7 on today's agenda, which is commissioners reporting on board work sessions and assigned committee meetings, as well as providing updates on actions taken. For folks that are waiting for the public hearing, there are 2 public hearings scheduled for 3 p.m. that will commence probably a few minutes after that, but shortly. I'll start with Commissioner Mejia for her commissioner report.
I don't have much to report. Yesterday, I went to an intercity transit event that they had, and it was a tour of the new building that's being built. Other than that, I've just been dealing with constituent concerns, trying to meet with as many as possible. Some of the concerns are with land use, and other concerns are in regards to the vaccines.
Thank you. Go ahead, Commissioner Edwards.
Yes, Wednesday, April 7th, we had a board meeting for Medic One. And one of the issues is overall regular operations that we normally cover, but I think you'll hear more about that today. And the Fair Board meeting, the Wednesday evening of April 7th, and the main topic of concern, I think, was not only the actions around the group that maintains the fairgrounds and does a very good job, those volunteers, I might mention, but one of the big concerns is, are we going to have a fair this year? And that's yet to be determined yet, because we don't know where we're at on the whole virus thing. And then we had a joint meeting with Lacey City Council on Thursday, April 8th. And I think maybe joint planning would be my estimation of what happened, but my seatmates were there, so they might report on that as well. And I gave a presentation on April 9th to the Hawks Prairie Rotary, and lots of constituent calls over water and the virus issue, and where can I get a shot, and when are we going to be over this? So that's my week in condensed form and my report on committee meetings. Thank you.
Commissioner, what was the topic of your presentation to the Rotary, if I might ask?
Just general county government.
Okay. Do they have any particular thing they were asking you about, they're curious about?
No, but I wouldn't doubt that my seatmates might get contacted as well as speakers to for maybe a perspective or something on anything that went on there, but mostly it was just general county government and what goes on.
Great. Last week I had the opportunity to go to the fairgrounds as well, specifically to look at a proposed project site and get some background on that proposal. I also had a chance to look at the vaccination setup for a clinic that was vaccination clinic at the fairgrounds that I hadn't seen before. I presented to the Grand Mound and Rochester Chamber, which had its first hybrid meeting. So spaced out at Sweet Hall with a component on a big screen, some people zooming in and some people in person. And I was able to go in person. And that was the first time that we've done that in over a year. So that was kind of nice. Also attended the intercity transit event, as Commissioner Mejia mentioned. Did a presentation last night to the Olympia Coalition of Neighborhood Associations. And that was an interesting group that I hadn't connected with before. And I kind of, same thing as Commissioner Edwards, just kind of talked about, actually they submitted questions to me and I answered those questions, and they related to homelessness, criminal justice with alternatives to incarceration, and growth management as the city pushes for greater housing density. And they wanted to kind of know how the county policies fit into all that. So it was a really good discussion. And this morning I attended an Innovative Justice subcommittee meeting that happens once a month. And that was about it for my unassigned duties. So with that, I'll go to the county manager to review the combined schedule for the upcoming week.
Thank you, Commissioner. Let me walk you through to your upcoming week, where at least 2 commissioners will be attending. You may have individual appointments on your individual calendars. Those will not be part of my report. Soon after this meeting, you have 2 public hearings. The first one is related to Medic 1 and the consideration for you to put in the August 3rd, 2021 primary election to ask the voters to support a levy tax on this particular program. Soon after that is completed, you have another public hearing where you'll be receiving public testimony related to our ordinance amending Chapter 2.02, and that is related to regular, special, and other meetings of the Board of County Commissioners. 3:30 this afternoon, you have your regular Board of Health meeting. And Wednesday, April 14th at noon, you have your regular meeting with your appointed directors, followed by 2 in the afternoon with a briefing related to a Thurston Climate Action Team, specifically related to the CPACER program. Thursday, April 15, you have a 9 in the morning budget work session, followed by 10 in the morning with a briefing related to the LOT, Clean Water Alliance. And then you have at 10:30, you will have a briefing where you'll be reviewing the agenda for the Board of County Commissioners meeting that is scheduled for next week, April 20, 2021, since we had to cancel the agenda setting this morning. At 12:30 on April 15th, Commissioner Edwards and Commissioner Menser will be attending the Thurston Mission Behavioral Health Organization Administrative Services Office Governing Board meeting. That's a mouthful. On April 16th, you have been invited to participate on the South Thurston Economic Development Initiative, also known as STEADY. And at 9 o'clock, all the way through 4 in the afternoon, this Friday, April 16th, you have a commissioner planning session. And the agenda for that day-long meeting has been posted, I believe. Moving on to Monday, April 19th, you have your regular standing meeting with the Washington State Association of Counties, a virtual assembly at noon. And on Tuesday, April 20th, you will come back here to this room at 9:30 in the morning for your regular agenda setting, where you will be reviewing the agenda for that day and the following week. And that's all I have for you today.
Okay, with that, we are about to adjourn. It is 3:05. We'll commence 3:10. And I'll come to the boardroom. We'll have the 2 public hearings. So,
yeah, and we have two different Zooms for each of the public hearings. So
first will be Medic 1. Second will be the ordinance regarding meetings, and the board meeting for this afternoon is now adjourned.
Right, thank you.